Salut! I'm Sumo from FrenchArena. In today's lesson, we are going to be taking a look at how to discuss the popular French idioms to describe how you're feeling. On commence! Now, the French are quite expressive people and they use different phrases to describe how they're feeling. When you probably started learning French, or when you do start learning French, one of the first topics you'll probably cover are emotions, feelings, how to talk about you being happy, you being sad, you being angry, disappointed, and so on. A lot of the times you'll be taught adjectives like fatigué, triste, heureux, different ones like that, but you wouldn't really be taught idioms, and that is exactly why today's lesson is extremely important for you. Now, in today's lesson, we are going to go over 10 everyday conversational French idioms that you can use to describe how you're feeling and not necessarily just get stuck using adjectives to talk about how you're feeling. I'm sure if you go on the internet, you'll probably find 50, 100, and you really can learn everything at once. Even after watching today's lesson, you wouldn't be able to remember every single thing. But at least if you can pick out one or two of these idioms, it will help you in being able to talk about how you're feeling. If this is your first time here, welcome and thank you so much for clicking today's lesson. If you happen to like it whilst you're watching it, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you can get more lessons like this, and share with others who would like to learn the top 10 French idioms to talk about how you're feeling. Number 1, avoir la banane. Avoir la banane. And the literal translation is to have the banana. But the meaning is to be happy and just means to have a smile on one's face. And so, for example, probably you're at a party with a friend and you happen to notice a girl across from you. She just keeps smiling. She's happy. You're wondering, okay, this party is not that interesting. Why is she smiling so much? And you ask your friend, why is she smiling so much? What's making her grin from ear to ear? And your friend then says, Qui? Sonia? Ah oui. Elle a la banane du fait de son nouveau travail. Which just means she has the banana because of her new job. So basically, she's happy and she's grinning from ear to ear because she's got a fantastic new job. Let's take a look at number 2. Ne pas être dans son assiette. The literal translation is to not be in one's plate, but it literally means to not feel like yourself or to feel unwell. So you're ill, you're not feeling too good. For example, if your colleague comes to work that morning and he notices that probably you're looking quite blue, you're not looking yourself, he or she might ask, Ça va Anne? Tu n'as pas l'air dans ton assiette aujourd'hui. And then you can respond by saying, Je vais rentrer. Je ne suis pas dans mon assiette ce matin. He or she will definitely understand what it is you're talking about because it just means you're unwell, you're not up for it today. Let's take a look at the third idiom. Number 3, avoir la pêche. Avoir la pêche. And the literal meaning is to have the peach. To have the peach. But this just means to feel great, to be full of energy. So my goodness, wow, you have a burst of energy today. It's going to be a fantastic day. Avoir la pêche. For example, probably you've been down, you've not been feeling too good, you have a cold. You can then say, Je me suis remis de mon rhume et j'ai encore la pêche. It just means I've got over my cold and I feel great again. Like, yeah, I can go out, I can do anything I want. Because when you have a cold, well, at least when I have a cold, my whole day is just gone. I just want to be in bed, watching series and doing absolutely nothing. Also, there are quite a few variations of this particular idiom, and I'm going to tell you about 2 more which fall under this bucket. So the other 2 variations are avoir la patate and avoir la frite. The first just means to have the potato, and the second one to have the fries, so like to have the French fries. Both of these have the exact same meaning as avoir la pêche. You might be asking, okay, Sumo, can you give me an example of how I might probably use this in a sentence? Easy. You can say, Elle n'a pas la frite depuis longtemps. Number 4, and I would say like the opposite of number 3, avoir le cafard. Avoir le cafard. The literal translation is to have the cockroach. I detest cockroaches. Like, if I see them, I scream, I squirm. But anyways, that's the literal translation. But it just means to have the blues, to feel down, to feel depressed. Basically, yeah, you're just feeling blue. Je ne sais pas pourquoi, mais j'ai le cafard. Or you can also say, Quand j'ai le cafard, je préfère être seul. Another bonus one just under this is probably you're feeling blue, yeah, but then you might also say you're feeling groggy. And you might think, okay, Sumo, how do I exactly say I feel groggy? Not necessarily I'm feeling blue. What you can say is, avoir la tête dans le pâté ou le cul. The literal translation obviously is to have one's head in the ass or in the pâté but then you can use this idiom to just explain that you feel groggy. Number 5, la moutarde me montonne. La moutarde me montonne. And the literal translation is to have mustard climbing up the nose, which is quite weird. Like, how would it even climb? But yes, that's what it means, the literal translation. But obviously, it just means that I'm getting very angry. I'm getting extremely angry. So for example, I could say, quand elle se fait taquiner, on peut voir que la moutarde lui montonne. If you're loving the video so far and you've definitely learned different French idioms to describe your emotions or how you're feeling, please do not forget to give this video a like, subscribe, and share with anyone. Let's take a look at number 6. Number 6, être de bon poil. Être de bon poil. The literal translation is to be of good hair, but it means to be in a good mood. So it's different from j'ai la pêche, which just means I have a burst of energy. This just means to be in a good mood. And don't worry, I'll tell you what to be in a bad mood is, like the idiom for to be in a bad mood. So imagine you get to work and you just see people have different little wrapped gifts on their table. You're wondering, where did this gift come from? It's not Valentine's Day, it's not Easter, it's not Christmas, it's not time for the office bonus. So what exactly is happening? Then your colleague then tells you, la patronne est de bon poil aujourd'hui, which means the boss is in a fantastic mood or is in a good mood. Hence the gifts everybody had on the table. And who wouldn't love that, right? Now let me tell you the opposite of that. The opposite is être de mauvais poil. Être de mauvais poil. And being the opposite, it means what? To be of bad hair, but obviously just meaning to be in a bad mood. So for example, someone could say, je suis toujours de mauvais poil le matin. Number 7, être à l'ouest. Être à l'ouest. And the literal term is to be in the west, but it just means to not be with it, to be spaced out. For example, someone could say, j'avais mal dormi, j'étais complètement à l'ouest toute la journée. Number 8, avoir un petit creux. Avoir un petit creux. And the literal term is to have a small hollow, which is quite weird, but it just means to be peckish, to be a little bit hungry. For example, I could say, j'avais un petit creux, alors j'ai pris un goûter. Next one, je n'ai jusque-là. Je n'ai jusque-là. Like the first time I heard it, I was like, ooh, that's serious. This just clearly means I've had it up to here. Like I can't take it any longer. Like my cup is full. I've had it up to here. If you're really stressed or you're lacking patience, you can definitely use this idiom because you're tired at work, your colleague has upset you, probably your friend is misbehaving, but you're tired, you're stressed out, your patience has run thin. For example, you could then say to that colleague or that friend who's just upsetting you and stressing you out, je n'ai jusque-là, je ne supporte plus ton comportement. Another bonus for this, perhaps if somebody is getting on your nerves, what you can also say is heureux sur le haricot de quelqu'un, and this just means to get on someone's nerves. You can also use this if you're probably talking about how much of your patience has run thin and the person is getting on your nerves. So yeah, I was just having 2 idioms in one sentence. Quite weird, but I think I would advise you to just use one, and then later on you can use the second one. Let's take a look at number 10 and the final French idiom on how to describe how you're feeling. Number 10, casser les pieds. Casser les pieds. The literal meaning is to break the feet, but it just means to annoy someone or to bore someone. So for example, you can say, je déteste François, il me casse les pieds. Or perhaps you want to talk about your boss who is really upsetting you, is annoying you. You can also say, c'est un vrai casse-pied. C'est un vrai casse-pied. So there we have it. Top 10 popular French idioms to describe your emotions. There's one I just remembered. It's a bonus one. You can say, faire la tête. Faire la tête. So perhaps you're sulking. So someone could then ask you, why are you sulking? Obviously, the literal term means to do the head, but it just means to sulk. So for example, someone could ask you, pourquoi fais-tu la tête? Which is, why are you sulking? There you have it. I have given you top 10 and so many bonuses because I've given you some that I've told you how to be in a good mood, to be in a bad mood, to get on someone's nerves, extra ways in which you can say it, avoir la pêche, and so much more. In the comment section below, I want you to tell me of any other French idiom you know that you can use to describe your emotions or describe how you're feeling. Don't tell me anyone I have given you, but what you can also do is you can form a sentence with any of the ones I have given you. I would love to read from you. If you loved today's video, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching today's lesson, and until I see you in the next lesson, bonne journée.